Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jai Vishnupad Paramahansa Prabhujakacharya Astaja Sadashi Shimad. His Divine Grace, Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami, Srila Prabhupada Ki, Anantikota Vaishnavanda Ki Jai, Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki Jai, ISKCON Founder Acharya Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai, Premsika Ho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Sivasadi Gaur Bhaktivedanta Ki Jai, Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gopiya Shamakun Radhakun Giri Govardhan Ki Jai, Jivandavandam Ki Jai, Shri Maya Purnavadam Ki Jai, Ganga Maya Ki Jai, Jamuna Maya Ki Jai, Tulsi Devi Ki Jai, Bhakti Devi Ki Jai, Samaveda Bhaktivinoda Ki Jai, Transcendental Book Distribution Ki Jai, Harinam Sankirtan Ki Jai, Go Premanandi, all glorious summer devotees, all glorious summer devotees, all glorious summer devotees. How glorious to Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga. I'm going to need a book. I need a book. Yeah, there's no book here. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So, does anybody have a just now come in? This morning we're reading from the Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 9, text number 32. Thank you. Shri Bhishmu Vacha Iti Matir Upakalpita Vitrishna Bhagavati Satvata Bhungave Vibhumni Sva Sukham Upagate Kvachit Vihartum Prakritim Upayusi Yad Bhava Pravaha Shri Bhishmu Vacha Iti Mitir Upakalpita Vitrishna Bhagavati Satvata Pungave Bhumi Swasukam Upagate Kvachit Vikartum Prakritim Upayasi Yadbhava Pravaha Iti Matir Upakalpita Vitrishna Bhagavati Satvata Pungave Vibhumni Swasukam Upagate Kvachit Vihartum Prakritim Upayasi Yadbhava Pravaha. Others? Iti Mitir Upakalpita Vitrishna Bhagavati Satvata Pungave Vibhumni Nagahe Upagate Kvachit Vihartum Prayasi Yadbhava. Iti Mithya Upakalpita Vatrishna Bhagavati Satvata Pungave Vibhumni Swasukam Upagate Kvachit Vihartum Prakritim Upayasi Yadbhava Pravaha. Iti Mitya Upakalpita Vatrishna Bhagavati Satvata Pungave Vibhumni Swasukam Upagate Kvachit Vihartum Prakritim Upayasi Yadbhava Pravaha. Shri Bhishma Vasa. Iti Mitya Upakalpita Vatrishna Bhagavati Satvata Pungave Vibhumni Svaksukam Upakate Svakit Patnahum Prakritim Upayasi Yadbhava Pravaha. Matajis. Iti Mitya Upakalpita Vatrishna Bhagavati Satvata Pungave Vibhumni Swasukam Upagate Kvachit Vihartum Prakritim Upayasi Yadbhava Pravaha. Shri Bhishma Vacha. Iti Mitya Upakalpita Vatrishna Swasukam Upagate Kvachit Vihartum Prakritim Upayasi Yadbhava Pravaha. Shri Bhishma Uvacha. Shri Bhishma Dev said, Iti, thus, Mati, thinking, feeling, and willing. Upakalpita, infested. Vitrishna, freed from all sense desires. Bhagavati, unto the personality of Godhead. Satvata Bhungata Ugave, unto the leader of the devotees. Vibhumni, unto the great. Swasukam, self-satisfaction. Upagate, unto he who has attained it. Kvachit, sometimes. Vihartum, out of transcendental pleasure. Prakritim, in the material world. Upayasi, do accept it. Yadbhava, from whom the creation. Pravaha, is made and annihilated. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, Srila Prabhupada ki. Bhishma Dev said, let me now invest my thinking, feeling, and willing, which were so long engaged in different subjects and occupational duties, in the all-powerful Lord Sri Krishna, He is always self-satisfied, but sometimes, being the leader of the devotees, he enjoys transcendental pleasure by descending on the material world, although from him only the material world is created. Purport. Because Bhishmadev was a statesman, the head of the Kuru dynasty, a great general, and a leader of Kshatriyas, his mind was strewn over so many subjects, and his thinking, feeling, and willing were engaged in different matters. Now, in order to achieve pure devotional service, he wanted to invest all powers of thinking, feeling, and willing entirely in the Supreme Being, Lord Krishna. He is described herein as the leader of the devotees and all-powerful. Although Lord Krishna is the original personality of Godhead, he himself descends on earth to bestow upon his pure devotees the boon of devotional service. He descends sometimes as Lord Krishna as he is, and sometimes as Lord Chaitanya. Both are leaders of the pure devotees. Pure devotees of the Lord have no desire other than service of the Lord, and therefore they are called Sattvata. The Lord is the chief amongst all Sattvatas. Bhishmadev therefore had no other desires. Unless one is purified from all sorts of material desires, the Lord does not become one's leader. Desires cannot be wiped out, but they have only to be purified. It is confirmed in the Bhagavad Gita by the Lord himself that he gives his instructions from within the heart of a pure devotee who is constantly engaged in the service of the Lord. Such instruction is given not for any material purpose, but only for going back home, back to Godhead. Bhagavad Gita 10:10. For the ordinary man who wants to lord it over material nature, the Lord not only sanctions and becomes a witness of activities, but he never gives the non-devotees instructions for going back to Godhead. That is the difference in dealing by the Lord with different living beings, both the devotees and the non-devotee. He is leader of all the living beings, as the king of the state rules both the prisoners and the free citizens. But his dealings are different in terms of the devotee and the non-devotee. Non-devotees never care to take any instruction from the Lord, and therefore the Lord is silent in their case, although he witnesses all their activities and awards them the necessary results, good or bad. The devotees are above this material goodness and badness. They are progressive on the path of transcendence, and therefore they have no desire for anything material. The devotee also knows Sri Krishna as the original Narayan, because Lord Sri Krishna, by his plenary portion, appears as the Karnadaksai Vishnu, the original source of all material creation. The Lord also desires the association of his pure devotees, and for them only the Lord descends on the earth and enlivens them. The Lord appears out of his own will. He is not forced by the conditions of the material nature. He is therefore described here as the Vibhu, or the Almighty, for he is never conditioned by the laws of material nature. Om Jnanatamandasya Gyananjana Salakaya Chakshum Militam Jena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha Mukam Krotavachalang Pungan Langhayate Garim Yat Kripataraham Bande Shigarum Dinataranam Vanchakalpatibhyascha Kripa Sindhu Devacha Patitanam Bhavanevyo Vaishnavevyo Namo Namaha. Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaur Bhaktavinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. So as we've heard, Bhishma had this boon that he could leave whenever he desired. So it's quite interesting that he desired to leave when Krishna is right in front of him. What a very auspicious time to leave this world. And we know of Haridas Thakur also, he had that ability also, that he wanted to leave before Lord Chaitanya left, because it would be too painful. So he also left this world with the Lord right in front of him, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. What an auspicious departure. But also, chanting the holy names of Krishna, this is non-different, because the name of Krishna and Krishna are non-different. So we're being taught, and we're trying to be absorbed in this chanting of Hare Krishna. So if we can also chant the holy name of Krishna, remember Krishna, when we leave this world, we can also get this boon of having a very auspicious departure. Of course, this takes practice. And just like Arjuna, he said, this mind, it's chanchalam, it's determined, it's very powerful, very difficult to control. But what did Krishna say? Asang sayang mahabaho manorder nagraham jalam abhyasena takonteya vairagena tigriyate. He said it is undoubtedly very difficult to control the mind, but it's possible by constant practice and by detachment. So that's what we're doing here, practicing Krishna consciousness. We're trying to remember Krishna. And unfortunately, we come here to forget Krishna. This is the problem. We come here to try to be Krishna even, try to be the master, and try to be the enjoyer. So we're trying to become purified of this contamination. As Rupa Goswami says, Kamarinam katina katita palita dorni desas tesam jata mai nakurunana trapa no pashanti. He says, for so long I've been the humble, menial servant of many bad masters. We had a very good master, Krishna. We come to this world and we have many bad masters. And what are those bad masters? Lust, anger, greed, envy, illusion, madness. These are the masters in the material world. And everybody is very humbly serving these bad masters. So he goes on to say, but by serving these masters, I've never become satisfied. I've never been ashamed of serving them. I've never wanted to give up serving them. But now, my dear Lord Krishna, you've given me transcendental intelligence. So I no longer want to serve these bad masters. Now I just want to serve you. Yeah. These material desires are actually foreign to us, because we're servants of Krishna. We're all eternal servants of Krishna. So these are foreign desires. And Prabhupada says in one purport that these material desires that we have are unreasonable. Unreasonable. Why? Because we're not the body. We're the soul within. So to try to satisfy desires that have nothing to do with me, it's unreasonable. We're the soul within. We're part of Krishna. So to try to satisfy Krishna, to try to satisfy the desires of the soul, this is much more reasonable. This is reality. To satisfy material desires, it's an illusion. It's an illusion. We can't be satisfied by satisfying something that we aren't. Yeah. We're not this body. So it's completely unreasonable. When I read that, I was thinking, Prabhupada is just so connected. Yeah. Amazing realizations. Yeah. Therefore, we have these. There's one book called the Bhaktivedanta Purports. So we could learn so much from hearing from Srila Prabhupada. Yeah. And he, again and again, he encourages us to think of Krishna. Smartavya saratang vishnor vishmartavyana jatuchit. That there's so many rules throughout the Vedic literatures. Thousands and thousands and thousands. But these two are the most important. Always remember Krishna. Don't forget. Don't forget Krishna. Yeah. So this is the positive and the negative. Remember Krishna. Don't forget him. Just like in the Upadeshamrita, there's the positive, there's the negative. Utsaha nischayadaryat. Yeah, we should engage in devotional service to Krishna with great enthusiasm, very enthusiastically. Yeah. Just like Prabhupada, when he came to America, he's in New York City for a year, and no result. But still, he was very enthusiastic. He was very enthusiastic, but still, no result. Yeah. Amazing determination. So Krishna, upon seeing his great determination, his great enthusiasm, then this one person came and inquired, "Oh, you're from India, Vijaya Prabhu." And then from then, again and again, people would come. People were coming and coming and coming. And this temple, I don't know if I mentioned this here, but I was just thinking about this, how this 26 Second Avenue, this is the only temple that Prabhupada personally opened. And from there, he sent people to Montreal, San Francisco, Los Angeles. So from there, he went to Montreal. There was already a temple there. There was devotees there. And Mukunda, when he was leaving, before he was a sannyasi, he was Mukunda Das, of course. He left New York and he was going to San Francisco on his way to India. He told Swamiji, "I'm going to go to India, so I'm going to go see some friends in San Francisco and then go to India." And Prabhupada just said nonchalantly, "Oh, well, while you're in San Francisco, maybe you could just start something there. You know, nothing, not a real serious talk. Just off the top of his head, maybe you could start something." So then when he went to San Francisco, he saw his old friend Sam Samasundar, and Guru Das came along, and their wives took part. So they just started this this temple there. Amazing. And that time, 1967, it was the flower child time. They were having these love-ins, and thousands and thousands of youth were going to San Francisco, and it was the beginning of the hippie movement. So many people there were hungry and homeless, and devotees were giving them prasadam, serving prasadam to them, keeping many of them alive. So after they got something going, then they decided, well, let's bring Swamiji. So they sent a note to Srila Prabhupada that, you can come to San Francisco. We have a temple here. Back then, a temple meant a storefront. That was the temple. That's all they had experience of. So they sent a ticket to Prabhupada, and he went to San Francisco. First time he ever flew on a plane. So imagine the experience that Srila Prabhupada had on the plane. The plane lands, and he hears, from the airport, the doors open, and he hears the chanting. There's 50 people chanting Hare Krishna very loudly in the airport. This is before there was so much security. They were there at the entrance. So Prabhupada, imagine how ecstatic Prabhupada must have been. He hadn't even stepped a foot into San Francisco, and there's already so many people chanting Hare Krishna. And then they give him when he's walking through, so many gifts are being given to Prabhupada, and he's handing them back. He's getting gifts and handing them back to Nati Pratigranati. So, and then he sent people to Los Angeles and Australia and Europe and Africa. He was just sending people all over the planet. So this is from the enthusiasm of Srila Prabhupada. By devotees coming in contact with Srila Prabhupada, they became enthusiastic. So utsaha nishtya dharya, they became confident. This is Nishtya-dharya, this is confidence. So by association with a pure devotee, one becomes very confident. By reading Prabhupada's books, by hearing Srila Prabhupada's lectures, we become very confident that yes, this is the truth. I'm spirit soul, I'm part of Krishna. One becomes so confident that they can go out and start temples, and make so many devotees. This is the Shakti of Srila Prabhupada. And like he sent devotees down to South America, and then within a short time there's so many temples in South America. So many temples all around the world, just by the Shakti, by the enthusiasm of Srila Prabhupada. So utsaha nistya dharya, and patience. We have to be very enthusiastic, we have to be very determined, we are very confident, but at the same time, we have to be patient. Now some devotee may think, well, I'll just hang out and just wait for Krishna to give his mercy to me. I'll be very patient, and not do anything. Just wait. I'll just be patient. Now this is patience in the mode of ignorance. I'll be patient, but I won't do anything. And then patience, if one is very enthusiastic in service, but not patient, then this is patience in the mode of passion. Very enthusiastic, but no patience. This is passionate. But if one is very enthusiastic, but patient, this is the mode of goodness. To be very enthusiastic, at the same time, patient. And then to be very enthusiastic, and at the same time thinking of Krishna and trying to please Krishna, this is patience in the mode of pure goodness. So this is what we're shooting for. To be very enthusiastic, at the same time thinking of Krishna and doing everything for the pleasure of Krishna. This is pure goodness. So this is what we're trying to achieve. This pure goodness. So that we can go back to the spiritual world. We can't barge into the spiritual world. We had to be pure. Nayam atma pravachayena labdo nameya nabuhuna shrutena. That we can't attain Krishna by great scholarship, giving wonderful discourses on the Srimad Bhagavatam, nor even by much hearing. But Krishna can be attained only by those persons whom he chooses. So who does Krishna choose? Prabhupada mentions it here in this purport, who he chooses. 10:10. Tesam sadak yuktanam bhajatam pritipurvakam dadami buddhi yogam tam yenu upyantite. To those who are constantly devoted to me and worship me with love, I give them the understanding by which they can come to me. So this is who he chooses. He gives a hint. Krishna gives many hints in the Bhagavad Gita and the Srimad Bhagavatam on how to attain him. And in the 11th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita, last verse, Mad karma krin, mad paramat, mad bhakta sangavardita, nirvaira sarvbhutesu, yasamam iti pandava. Prabhupada says in the purport to this verse, this is the formula for going back to the spiritual world. This is the formula. And therefore Prabhupada said this is the essence. This verse is the essence of the entire Bhagavad Gita because it's the formula. And what does he say? One who works for me. So many people in this world, they're working. But what are they working for? To satisfy their senses. But if we work for Krishna, he's very pleased. Krishna is very pleased if we work for Krishna. And he gives guidance on what type of work he wants us to do for him. Spreading his message throughout the world. Krishna is very pleased by this. Deity worship. Krishna is very pleased by this. Chanting the holy name, Harinam. Krishna is very pleased. So many things that Krishna is very pleased with. So if we work for Krishna, then he gives his mercy. Mat karma krin, mat parama. We have to understand, Krishna is the supreme. We come here to try to be the supreme. We try to be Krishna. Unfortunately, Krishna has, some of us, he's kind of shook things up a little bit. And then we understood, well, I'm not supreme. Krishna is supreme. So to understand, Krishna is the supreme. And there's many gods. We also have many gods. You know, there's so many incarnations of Krishna. But Krishna, he's the supreme. Mata paratarang nanyat. Kinchit asti dhananjaya. There is no truth superior to me. Everything is resting on me, as pearls are strung on a thread. So everything is resting on Krishna. He is the supreme. So we have to understand that. And therefore we're hearing it again and again and again in Prabhupada's books. Krishna is the supreme. But karma krin, mad parma, mad bhakta, sangavarjita. We have to become his devotee. Yeah. We have to become his devotee. We're the soul within. We're part of Krishna. So it's natural that we engage in service to him. Then what is he looking for? Devotion. He's looking for devotion. Just like in this nice verse, he says, if one offers to me with love and devotion a leaf, a flower, fruit, or water, I'll accept it. Now Krishna, he owns everything. What does Krishna need? He doesn't need a leaf or a flower, patram, pushram, phalam, toyam. He doesn't need these things. But if we offer these things to him with love, he's very, very satisfied. It's amazing, huh? God, who is Atmaram, he's self-satisfied, doesn't need anything. If we do anything for him with devotion, then we satisfy him. He's pleased. And this is the key for going back to the spiritual world. We have to act for the pleasure of Krishna with devotion. Therefore we have this word, devotional service. Not just service, you have to add the devotion. To add that devotion. So, mat karma krin, mat paramat, mad bhakta sangavarjita. This is free of all desires to enjoy the fruits of one's activities and mental speculation. You know, there's so much speculation. You know, practically every taxi driver, you know, he has his own philosophy about life. You know, everybody has their speculation about what is the truth. So to be free of speculation, to be free of the desire to enjoy the fruits of one's activities. You know, Krishna's pleased if we can renounce these things. You know, mat karma krin, mat paraman, mad bhakta sangavarjita, nirvaira sarabhutesu, yasamami pandava. He was a friend to all living entities. Krishna is very pleased if we're friendly towards everyone. Just like there's a nice pastime in Hawaii. Prabhupada was in his room and the servant was doing some cleaning and there was one insect on the table, very unusual looking insect. So the devotee said, Prabhupada, look at this insect, it's very unusual looking. So Prabhupada came over, he's also looking at it, and Prabhupada said, yeah, very unusual. And then he told the devotee, now chant to the poor thing. As Prabhupada could see, there's a soul there. And it needs Krishna. So the devotee started chanting. In Tittenhurst, Prabhupada, you know, he stayed at this place of John Lennon. So Prabhupada stayed there for some time, I think a few weeks or something. And then Prabhupada could see that they were very degraded, so he told the devotees, all right, let's leave, let's go. So before, you know, they were all in the car and they're leaving. And Prabhupada said, wait. So the devotees stopped the car. Prabhupada got out and he's walking around in the garden there and he's touching the leaves of the trees. He's just feeling the trees there, you know, touching the leaves. He go around and touch some other leaves. And the devotees are like amazed. It's like Prabhupada saying goodbye to the jivas in these bodies. And so Prabhupada always saw the soul. And therefore he had so much compassion. He wanted everybody to hear about Krishna. The devotee is Paradukaduki. He wanted everybody to get this name of Krishna, to get the message of Krishna. Because he knew everybody is a spirit soul. Everyone is part of Krishna. They've forgotten Krishna. And he wanted everybody to remember Krishna. So we're very fortunate that we're on this path where we could learn this Krishna consciousness, so we could learn how to remember Krishna all the time, how to forget Maya. Krishna Surya Sama Maya Haya Andhakara. Krishna is compared to the sun, Maya is compared to darkness. Wherever there is the sun of Krishna consciousness, there is no darkness of ignorance. So the more we're thinking of Krishna, the more we become free of this illusory existence. So, is there any questions or comments, reflections, corrections? No. Yes, Archita Prabhu. I think the microphone is coming.
Thank you for a very nice class, Vijaya Prabhu. So one may say, if Krishna is like the sun and Maya is darkness, how is it that someone can be chanting Hare Krishna sometimes for a very, very long time and still have lust, anger, greed? How come they don't disappear immediately as Krishna is added to life?
Prabhupada gives the example of a fan. A fan may be going strongly, but you unplug the fan, it's still going. Although it's unplugged, it's still going. So by taking to Krishna consciousness, we're unplugging the fan. But due to our past activities, still the fan is going some. So therefore it's not automatic. Just like when you unplug the fan, the fan doesn't stop immediately. It would be nice, wouldn't it, if we could just take the Krishna consciousness and Maya is gone immediately. But no, we have to also show Krishna that we really want him, and therefore so many tests will come. Like we have new bhaktas here, many new bhaktas. So I'll have you know that many tests will come before you. And you have to be prepared to pass all the tests. Just like when there's an exam coming up, then you prepare for the exam, right? So you can pass the test. Many students in school, they don't study, and they fail the exam. So many, many tests will come. So you have to be prepared for those tests. And if we're very, very strictly practicing Krishna consciousness, when those tests come, then we'll be able to pass the test. And the final exam is death. That's the big test. Because it's said that when one leaves one's body, whatever we're attached to, that's what comes before us. Whatever we're thinking of, whatever we're attached to the most, that's what we're going to think of. So we're praying to Krishna to become attached to him, so that when that time does come, we could think of him and go back to Krishna. Yes, Prabhu.
Patience, different types of patience, that and the combination of enthusiasm, it's in the mode of ignorance or passion or goodness. I'd just like to know where that's stated.
I just heard that from Chaitanya Charan Prabhu in a class, and I said, well, that makes a lot of sense. If someone is just laying around and thinking, yeah, I'll just hang out, and someday maybe Krishna will give us mercy, I'll just be real patient. Makes sense. That would be the mode of ignorance, right? right? That would be the mode of ignorance. But if someone is very enthusiastic in their service, but they're not patient, they're not, therefore a lot of people come, we've seen them, they come and they're enthusiastic, but they don't have the patience, so therefore they leave. You know? They think, this process isn't working. I've been chanting Hare Krishna for 5, 10, 15 years. It's not working. No, we had to be patient. Yeah? We had to be very patient. So that's the mode of passion. They're working, but they don't have the passion. I mean, the patience, that's mode of passion. But if someone is very enthusiastic, but patient at the same time, mode of goodness. Right? But if we're thinking of Krishna, if we're engaged in devotional service and we're very enthusiastic, this is patience in the mode of pure goodness. This is what we're shooting for. Very enthusiastic, but we're thinking of Krishna. We're doing it for Krishna. Yes, Prabhu.
Thank you very much for the wonderful class, Prabhu. So what if one attached to the book distribution and leaving this material world thinking of book distribution? Will he take birth again in ISKCON and continue doing the book distribution in his next life?
This is a real book distributor. Yeah. So Prabhupada had two answers. A devotee said to Prabhupada, Prabhupada, I just want to come back life after life and distribute your books. And Prabhupada said, don't think you're so advanced. Do your business, get serious, go back to Godhead. Yeah. And another time, Prabhupada said, first class. Yes, first class. Come back again and again. So I guess it was different mentalities that Prabhupada was. He would say different things to different statements that devotees would ask. But, so Prabhupada had both of those statements. I mean, generally, living entities that just want to help conditioned souls back to Godhead, they're called Shaktivesh avatars. They come for the upliftment of the conditioned souls. So, I don't think you're a Shaktivesh avatar. I know I'm not. So there's this material world, it's a dangerous place. You may think, well, let me come back life after life and distribute Prabhupada's books, but you don't know what's going to happen. You may become bewildered. I mean, so many devotees have come, very, very, very elevated devotees, big, big sannyasis and very wonderful devotees, giving amazing lectures, but they became bewildered by the illusory energy. So I would suggest that you distribute your books throughout this life and go back home. Don't take a chance.
Thank you very much, Prabhu.
Okay. Okay. Thank you very much. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.